Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to completely demystify budgeting and show you exactly how to build a rock-solid financial shield. We all know life is, well, entirely unpredictable, and dealing with money can feel super stressful. But what if you could build genuine financial resilience against those unexpected shocks? What if a broken car or a surprise medical bill didn't have to mean months of anxiety? That's exactly what we're going to unlock today. Okay, let's dive into this. Just think about this stark statistic from the Federal Reserve for a second. 22.15%. That's the average interest rate right now on a credit card assessing interest. I mean, think about the mathematical pain of relying on that kind of debt. When you have to put an emergency expense on a credit card and you can't pay it off immediately, that 22.15% interest literally turns a tiny crisis into a massive, compounding financial burden. So, here is our roadmap for today to build that shield. First, we'll cover the cost of emergencies. Second, tracking your cash flow. Third, the 50-30-20 rule. Fourth, building your emergency fund. And finally, where to keep it. Section 1, the cost of emergencies, why you need a safety net. Comparing these Federal Reserve interest rates completely exposes what we call the debt trap. Notice how a 60-month car loan sits around 7.5% and a 24-month personal loan is hovering near 11.8%. But a credit card? It spikes all the way up to 22.15%. So when an emergency hits and you don't have a 0% cash emergency fund to rely on, you're forced right into this wildly expensive borrowing zone. You're effectively paying a massive premium just to survive a bad day. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau outlines this reality pretty bluntly. Without savings, a minor financial shock can easily turn into lasting debt. When people without savings face, say, an unexpected car repair, they often have to tap into those high-interest credit cards. Or even worse, they end up draining their retirement funds. And once you enter that cycle, recovering becomes incredibly difficult because you're constantly fighting an uphill battle against those interest rates. Let's move to Section 2, tracking your cash flow, finding where the money goes. You know, you really can't manage what you don't measure. The CFPB recommends 4 key actions to get a handle on your cash flow. First, identify all your income sources, whether that's your main job, a side hustle, or benefits. Second, track your spending daily. Capturing those small everyday expenses is absolutely crucial because they really do add up. Third, and honestly, this is a huge one, match your bills to their due dates. If the timing of your income and your bills is out of sync, you'll come up short at the end of the week, even if you theoretically make enough money. And finally, pull all of this together to create your working budget. Section 3, the 50-30-20 rule. A simple framework. And this brilliantly illustrates a widely cited benchmark from resources like InvestingLab and the CFPB. It's super simple. You allocate your net income into 3 buckets. 50% goes to your needs, like housing, utilities, and groceries. 30% goes to your wants, and yes, that absolutely includes your daily iced coffee. And crucially, 20% goes towards savings and paying down debt. It's a fantastic mental model that gives your money immediate purpose. Now, to make that 50-30-20 rule actually work, we've got to understand the difference between fixed and variable expenses. Fixed expenses, like your rent, car insurance, or your internet bill, are completely predictable. You know exactly what they're going to cost every single month. Variable expenses, on the other hand, well, they fluctuate. This is your grocery bill, dining out, and shopping. There's a really crucial insight from InvestingLab here. When a budget shows a deficit, variable categories are typically easier to adjust than fixed commitments. What this means is, if your budget is running in the red, don't panic. You don't need to break your lease and move to a cheaper apartment tomorrow. You have the power to make immediate, impactful cuts in your variable categories, like maybe eating out just a little bit less, to get your cash flow back into positive territory. Section 4, building your emergency fund, constructing the shield. Let's define the concept clearly. An emergency fund is simply a cash reserve specifically set aside for unplanned expenses or financial emergencies. And look, even if you're currently living paycheck to paycheck, setting aside any small amount is a massive step towards security. Really, don't be discouraged if you can only save $5 a week right now. That momentum matters immensely. The CFPB provides some incredibly practical strategies to actually build this fund. First, create a consistent habit. Consistency totally beats intensity when it comes to saving. Second, manage your cash flow, which we just went over. Third, take advantage of one-time opportunities. If you get a tax refund or a cash gift for your birthday, save all or at least a portion of it to rapidly accelerate your fund. And lastly, make saving automatic.
Setting up recurring transfers from your checking to your savings account is, hands down, the easiest way to guarantee growth.
So, the crucial point here is, while automation is incredibly powerful, you still have to stay engaged. The CFPB notes you really must be mindful of your balances to avoid overdraft fees. I highly recommend setting a calendar reminder on your phone a day or two before that automated transfer hits. Just do a quick check to ensure your checking account has enough padding so your automated savings doesn't accidentally trigger an expensive overdraft fee. Here is another incredibly valuable tip from the CFPB. If your employer allows it, split your paycheck through direct deposit. You can literally have a portion of your income routed straight into your savings account before you even see it in your main checking account. It's the absolute ultimate way to pay yourself first, and it takes the temptation to spend that money right out of your hands. Section 5. Where to keep it. Protecting your reserve. So now that you're saving, where does it go? You have a few main options. A bank or credit union account is generally considered the safest place. It keeps your money secure and separate from your daily spending. Prepaid cards are another option, which limit you to only what is loaded on the card. Finally, you could keep cash at home for immediate access. But keep in mind, while cash is super accessible, it can easily be lost, stolen, or destroyed in a disaster. So a dedicated savings account at a bank is usually going to be your optimal choice. Now, it's important to set clear guidelines for yourself on what constitutes an actual emergency. A flash sale on your favorite shoes? Not an emergency. A broken water heater? Absolutely an emergency. But the CFPB stresses an incredibly empathetic point here. Don't be afraid to use the fund if you truly need it. That is exactly what it is there for. If you have to spend it down, don't view it as a failure. You already have the skills to build it right back up. I want to leave you with a provocative thought to wrap up today's explainer. What is your next emergency going to cost? We don't know what it's going to be, and we don't know when it's going to happen, but we do know life is going to throw us curveballs. So don't wait for an expensive surprise to push you into 22% credit card debt. Start tracking your cash flow, setting up your budget, and paying yourself first today. I promise your future self will thank you for the financial shield you're building right now.